Yes, I want to ask you something. I'm from Spain, from Madrid. I'm also German. Ich bin auch Deutscher. And I noticed this is South Africa. This is Nelson Mandela country. But in the industry, I see there's a lot of white people making spots or making advertising for black consumers because the majority is black. But here in the industry, as I can see today, tonight, also here in the jury, the most are white. So how is it, or what is the reason that the industry of advertising is very much white people making advertising for black consumers? How can this be, and how is it the reason?
I think it's great that you made that observation as a business country. I think that transformation is probably one of the single biggest issues that we face as a creative industry. I think that I don't really concern myself with the industry as a whole. I look at the people that are working in our creative studios all over South Africa, and we've got a long way to go to make our studios truly representative. I think that one of the reasons is because the advertising schools are available only to an economic segment that are extremely privileged, and unfortunately in this country at the moment, extremely privileged people tend to be from certain race groups. I think that that's changing. Everyone knows how fast we're growing, but I think that we've got to address those issues much faster than evolutionary change can address. So there's lots of initiatives underway in South Africa. I think that the industry is not changing fast enough. It's one of the things that I've taken on as creative circle chair to try and do. So we have an internship program that's been quite successful. The thing that concerns me most about transformation, I don't really care about transformation from a legislative point of view. I care about transformation because if we have transformed and representative studios, creative studios, we will have representative stories. I worry that our storytellers are telling us these stories from an exclusive point of view, and I think that we need to have lots of different points of view in our creative departments. That's the thing that worries me the most. There is obviously employment equity legislation that forces us to be representative, but it doesn't appear to be working very well. So I think we've got to take that responsibility for ourselves and make sure that we've got a whole bunch of interesting and diverse people in our creative departments. I know that, you know, if you look at Ahmed's studio and our studio, we're getting, but it's a huge problem.
Your opinion, because you are the only not white man here, about this about this issue, if you want.
This is absolutely important. I think we're lagging. We're far behind where we're supposed to be. It's been 15 years. We should be completely transformed, and as I said, in a truer sense of it, not legislatively, but more in terms of the makeup of the creatives in our studios. There are some agencies that are better at it than others, but without making any exclusive, we need to get there because it needs to be a representative of the people that we're selling to. So I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses for it. I think that we have been slacking there, and when I say we, I mean as creative agencies, because you've got to take it upon yourself and not have a law enforcing upon it. Because if there's a law, you always find loopholes. I think the responsibility sits on the shoulders of owners of agencies and creative directors of agencies to fix the problem. And there's no excuse for it. So I mean, there's nothing more I can say to them. They said it is wrong, it's not there yet, it's still a long way away, and we've got to stretch ourselves to get there as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Transformation as well.
Don't mind. I picked up the end of the conversation, and I didn't know the responsibilities of that. But I'm also heavily involved with education in this country, and basically, kids are being taught English as a second language, and this is the industry that deals with English for one reason only. There's enough money only to advertise in one language, mainly, and that's the truth. So until we actually start educating our youth in English, we're going to have a problem. So copywriting is a highly, highly crafting skill. You know, from a sort of an art direction point of view, it's also a trade. So these things do take time. So yes, we may say we're dragging our heels, but I think there's much, much bigger issues than just to look at our industry and say that's an industry. It's a country issue.
I mean, we're 158 out of 160 countries in education worldwide, so we've got a bit of a job to do overall.
Okay. I have a question for one of the judges. This Loeries opened up to the rest of Africa. Were you able to see more work than just the work submitted in from South Africa? Was there work that was impressive from other countries?
I just
Sorry.
Louder.
So, do you get it? Did you hear?
Yeah, we saw some work from Africa, from the Middle East. It was separated in the categories so that we can recognize that it comes from the Middle East. But to be honest, I had the feeling that maybe not all the agencies in the Middle East know that they can enter the Loeries, because I definitely know from touching the Dubai links that there is really, really great work coming out of the Middle East, and I didn't see it here, so probably it was just not entered.
Okay.
So maybe this is something to promote for the Loeries in the Middle East.
Can I just add to that as well?
Yeah.
I think because we saw a lot of work from Western Africa in television and radio, but I think that in the first year the entries are pretty low now. I think that if we get a lot more entries, I think the quality of work will inevitably improve because we have a larger pool of work to choose from. I think that Andrew launched this year, so we saw some good work, but certainly there's not as much work in that part of the festival as there is in the rest of the festival, and hence I think you'll find there'll be less Loeries awarded to that work.
Okay.
Andrew?
For the creative, being the creative city in 2014, is this something that your agencies are thinking about already, or is it something that the Loeries are anticipating being now seen as the creative city in the world?
I think it's kind of like a sort of chicken and egg thing. I think that one of the reasons why Cape Town is World Design Capital and World Creative Capital in 2014, I think, is because Cape Town is already an incredibly creative and wonderful city for creative people to work in. So, although I think that there are specific initiatives underway to obviously make that year kind of a banner year for creativity in Cape Town, I think that creativity in Cape Town is it's growing so fast. There's so much happening. There's so much street art and sculpture and galleries and commercial creativity and design. I think by 2014, with the other initiatives that are in place, it's going to be amazing. Are we doing anything specifically? Not yet. One of our clients is Cape Town Tourism, and they're doing a lot. So I think it's going to be, if you look at the other cities that have been World Design Capitals, incredible things happen there. So I'm hoping the same things happen in Cape Town.
Sorry, tonight we saw relatively kind of the same agencies that were being announced as winners. Should we expect the same tomorrow night?
Sorry, what was the question?
Tonight we saw the same agencies that came to the floor as contenders for awards. What should we expect tomorrow night?
I sincerely hope the same agencies will. I think that we'll see some Nando's work tomorrow night.
I'm looking
We'll
forward
see
to
some very good Nando's work. I certainly hope we will.
Probably also bigger other agencies. Serious Benz, Nando's, some good stuff there.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Andrew.
Well done.
History, I'm a copywriter at Ogilvy Cape Town. We won, Barshan, my art director, and I won in the category Tactical Use of Magazine.
it was for a piece called the Blue Motion Label for Volkswagen. Basically what we did was we created an ad for Blue Motion, which is the eco-conscious leg, eco-conscious part of Volkswagen brand. And we asked ourselves a very simple question: is it possible for a print ad to help save paper rather than waste it? So this being an eco-conscious brand, we created the world's first print insert that actually helps save magazines rather than waste them.
Hi, I'm Chris Gotts. I'm the Executive Creative Director over the Cape Town, and we did the carving work and work that these guys have spoken about Volkswagen. The carving work is an integrated campaign. I'm sure you all are perhaps familiar with it. It's the most successful consumer campaign in the history of South African advertising and marketing. It engages 1 million people, about 10.5 million unique impressions, and I think it's the best thing we've ever done as an agency. And I think it demonstrates the true power of mobile technology in a country where just about everyone has a cell phone. I think that what I really like about the work is that the technology wasn't fancy. It was USSD, simple, pretty much anybody who had any kind of cell phone could engage with the campaign. And I think that's why I'm particularly proud of it, is because it's a digital campaign that reached a whole bunch of people that don't normally engage with digital work. That's, for me, the really special thing about it.
Yeah, my name is Jacob Berger. I'm a partner in Design and Atelier. We're a small design studio, and I won Young Creative, which is a award given to designers under 27, and it's what is called a collective portfolio of work done whilst in the industry. That's it.
Hi, I'm Tilly. I'm one London tonight. Tomorrow night. No, I've accepted the award on behalf of Bobby Rosen for the Marketing Leadership Award. He couldn't be here, so I'm here to represent him.
Would anyone like to ask any questions? If you'd like to arrange one-on-one interviews as well, these Rosen's guys. Would you like any questions?
I'll ask a
yes,
question.
Sarah. Excellent.
Hi, Ed. Glad to see you not wearing black rimmed spectacles.
Do I have a roaming mic here?
We have.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll try and find the mic, but
Okay.
you have to shout.
I'll shout. And I'm very glad you're not wearing black rimmed spectacles, showing that you're an absolute renegade in the world of advertising, because it's a rule. You have to wear them. But a lot of us, I was actually having a conversation about Nando's this morning, and we know that clients that allow you to do great work often make your lives difficult in other ways. So how do you manage that relationship with a fantastic client that, like Nando's, that allows you to do great work? Do you cut them slack in other areas? Are they a loss leader for you?
That's a very interesting question. So clients that allow you to do some amazing work and the ones that are most responsible to it. Because you have nothing to hide with. There's no excuses. They give you a fair amount of freedom to do amazing work on their behalf. That just makes you more responsible, and you just work that much harder to make sure that everyone is standing up. In terms of cutting slack to the other departments, I don't know if that applies at all. I think the relationship is the same as any other time in that the working process and the relationship is what it is. I think what goes along with is the trust. So I think it's a two-way trust scheme. If the client gives you the freedom to do something, they trust the agency and the people that are working for the business enough. And I think that's a mutual relationship. So it's worked for us with Nando's and some of our other clients. And I just hope that all clients do it. Because I think overall, I think tonight's testimony to the work that we're tonight's testimony to relationships, I think, where clients respect what agencies do. I think that's very important. I think in the recent past, we felt like a lot of the clients had lost respect for what agencies did for a living, what they did for their business. So it's encouraging to see some really great work out there. This is only going to serve the interest of creativity and the client's business.
This is for the guy from Italia. What's your ethos or your creative mantra that sort of brought your work at your age to win an award? What do you think?
I think ethos or mantra is to make sure that whatever you design, that there's a reason for it. There's no redundant elements to make it pretty if it's not supposed to be pretty. I think the most important thing is to create a design that's pure, that is bored of adding elements just for the sake of adding them. If it means that something is plain and simplistic and it does the job quickly, then that's fine. So it's just about pure design.
You got a job here. You got a job here.
Better scream, man.
No, sorry, we have a mic.
I'll just deal with CV as well. I'm Ashraf Ganada from SAFM. You made the point about needing to have acceptance speeches. Is that just creative license, or you really mean that? And if so, why?
No. I think if you allowed acceptance speeches at Loeries, you would make for a very strange and long evening. So I suppose I was joking to a certain extent, but I think that perhaps the point I made at the beginning, which is that as creative people, we don't often talk about what we do. We kind of let our words speak for itself, and I think that we do ourselves a little bit of disservice, because I think the power of creativity and its ability to affect business in a way that pretty much nothing else can is something that really deserves to be recognized. And I think that creative people are able to talk about that and elaborate on that probably better than anybody else, because they're doing the work with their clients. So, but no, I don't think there are going to be any acceptance speeches. I think Andrew's flying the ship.
Great speech, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? There's Alex Schill. He's a good guy. He likes making speeches. Come on, Alex. Come and talk.
No more chair.
Come and sit on my lap. Just to let you know, Alex's agency, Service Brand, is the biggest independent agency in Europe, and probably does the most interesting work for me of any agency in the world at the moment. So, just as a little sidebar.